Tell us how you write, Salman. Are you very disciplined?
Yeah.
Do you have a very set schedule? You've talked, I think, in the past of how discipline at very difficult moments in your life has been your savior, in a sense.
Well, I think...
Talk a bit about your discipline and how that discipline plays into your writing.
I just think a novel is a very long piece of work, you know, and if you don't have that kind of sort of organized approach to how you do it, it just never gets written. You know, I mean, I know people who are playwrights or screenwriters, who will often say a very different thing. They will often say that, you know, you think about it and then you go and sequester yourself and you write the thing in a very intense, brief burst. You know, I mean, Noel Coward famously wrote Private Lives in a weekend. I think, you know, 3 days.
Coleridge and Coleridge, a poem.
Yeah. But I think there is something about these other forms which may even benefit from that very intense, short, total immersion thing. But you can't write a novel like that. It's too long, you know, and so you have to, I mean, I've always thought of it as that the novel is the marathon, you know, which, I mean, it's not that marathon runners are better athletes than sprinters, it's just they're that kind of athlete, you know, where if you don't get into a certain rhythm and chip away the miles, you know, you don't get to the end. So you have to be temperamentally like that.
And what is your own organization?
I just get up in the morning and work. I just do it like a job. And I think I was helped by the fact that when I was a kid...
7 days a week?
When I'm really into it, I do like to do, I do like to stay in the rhythm.
8 hours a day?
No, I do sometimes. I mean, I do allow myself to have, you know, brunch on Sunday, things like that. But I don't like to completely come out of it. You know, because I think that question of the rhythm, you know, that's what gets you through. And then near the final stages of a novel, I get very difficult to be with.
Why?
Because it's just, you know, work, sleep. Like
because
that.
you see the end.
Well, also it's final draft, and then I'm doing it 18 hours a day, you know, and then collapsing, and then getting up and doing some more. And it's fun. It's the most fun, but it's not fun to be around.
There was one passage, if I may just take a moment to read it. I thought it was so marvelous that I was just curious how, you know, a passage like this, how you know, how it sort of comes to you. It's near the beginning, and it's introducing Akbar, who is the great emperor of this Mughal empire, where the yellow-haired traveler from the west finds himself. And you write, the Emperor Abdul Fath Yalahuddin Muhammad, King of Kings, known since his childhood as Akbar, meaning the Great, and latterly, in spite of the tautology of it, as Akbar the Great Great One, great in his greatness, doubly great, so great that the repetition in his title was not only appropriate but necessary in order to express the gloriousness of his glory, the grand Mughal, the dusty, battle-weary, victorious, pensive, incipiently overweight, disenchanted, mustachioed, poetic, oversexed, and absolute emperor who seemed altogether too magnificent, too world-encompassing, and, in sum, too much to be a single human personage, this all-engulfing flood of a ruler, this swallower of worlds, this many-headed monster who referred to himself in the first-person plural, had begun to meditate during his long, tedious journey home, on which he was accompanied by the heads of his defeated enemies bobbing in their sealed earthen pickle jars, about the disturbing possibilities of the first-person singular, the I. How did you write that?
You know, one of the funny things that I've learned as I've, you know, got older is that the stuff that you write that people like most is also the stuff that you write that people like least. The same sentences. You know, I mean, that passage that you read
has been pilloried by
has
somebody?
been picked up to be much praised by some people and hideously attacked by others. The same reason why you liked it is the reason why other people don't like it. This is just, you know, you learn late in life that you can't please everyone, and that's okay, actually.